Hey everyone, welcome to Pineapple Knits, a knitting and spinning videocast. I'm Martina, and you can find me everywhere on the web at Pineapple Yarn, especially Instagram where I'm most active. And you can visit my hand-dyed yarn and fiber company at pineappleyarn.com. Thanks again for joining me this week. It's really great to be here and to be here with all of you. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to join me and chat about yarn and knitting and all of the crafting. It's so great. I hope your December is going great. This is, I started thinking about it. It's about a week until Christmas right now, and this is the last podcast of 2019 for me, which is just so crazy. And yeah, so I'm glad that I jumped on here today and decided to record because, as I'm sure it is with you, it is so busy this time of year. And, you know, I always think, like, why can't we spread some of this out into, like, February or, like, those months that are kind of, no offense to anybody if you like February, but it's kind of dreary to me. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. I think we should spread out the holiday cheer. Like, we could extend it a couple more months. I don't know. Maybe not. But I'm coming to you today from coastal South Carolina, where we're having beautiful weather. It was in the 70s yesterday. It was really, really beautiful. Today is cooler. It's in the 60s, but it's still really sunny, and it is amazing weather. I couldn't say more great things about the weather that we're having. But I have my drink. It's black coffee, which I've normally been drinking in the afternoon because that's just what I need this time of year. And yeah, that's my beverage of choice today. But I have been so busy with gift knitting, and I'm coming to the end, thankfully. I'm coming to the end. So let me show you what I started this week. Like I said, I'm nearly done with gift knitting. This is going to be quite possibly my largest project, but it's going really quickly. So hopefully we'll continue with that. This is a poncho I started for my daughter, and this pattern is a recipe of sorts, I guess, for a poncho. And I am knitting this in an Aran weight yarn. It's an MCN, so it's a merino cashmere nylon. 80-10-10, 80% merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon, and it is an Aran weight, and it is amazing. So I dyed this yarn specifically for my daughter. I should say who this is for. This is for my daughter, my oldest daughter. It's a poncho. This is what she requested. She specifically requested this color. It's a warm pink with very slight brown overtones or undertones, and she had something specifically this color, and I matched it. So this is what I have so far. I did a 1x1 rib on the neckline, about I want to say I did like 7 or 8 rows, and I'm also knitting this on a size 10 right now. So I think I did, for the rib, I did a US size 9. Right now I'm knitting a size 10 for the body, but in the pattern, I believe it's a turtleneck type. You know, it comes up on the neck. This really doesn't. It definitely is, I guess, like a little more snug around the neckline, but it's not even snug. It just creates it so it's warm, and it doesn't have a wide neckline. And so this is really a cute feature on this pattern. It has this little detail at the shoulders, which I think is really pretty. Adds a little visual interest, and then it also is where the increases are. And so basically in this pattern, it says to just keep increasing until you like the fit, and then knit with no increases. So the issue that I'm having, I've never made a poncho before. I thought it was pretty straightforward. I mean, it's basically a sweater without sleeves, right? I mean, it's like a top-down sweater that you never divide the sleeves for, right? I mean, really, if you think about it. But I'm just not sure how it's going to fit. If I don't want it too snug, but I don't want it too drapey, too wide. So right now I'm at, I think I'm at least about, a 200 stitch count, but I'm gonna stand up and show you. Yeah, so this is going, it's going well. And I've tried it on with a longer, I've put in a longer needle and tried it on, and I think it's really cute. It doesn't have a lot, it does definitely have some ease where I'm at. And so if I finished here and just knit straight, I'm sure it would be great. But I think I am going to put a little more ease into it just because that's what I'm going to do. I don't want to make it too tight. I think it would be better larger rather than smaller at this point. So yeah, that's where I'm at. This is turning out so cute. I cannot tell you how much I have loved this yarn. This yarn has been absolutely amazing to knit with. And a lot of times, you know, if you, I don't know if you are like this, but when I knit with like a bulky yarn, which an Aran weight yarn is not a bulky yarn, but you know, a chunkier type yarn, you think it's going to go quickly, but it really doesn't because it's heavy on your hands or you just can't move your needles as quickly. You can really see with this strand kind of draped over the top here, it is not plied tightly. It doesn't have a lot of bulk in it. It's a very lightweight yarn and I love it. It has been a dream to knit with, in addition to being soft, of course. It's very, very soft. So yeah, it actually has been going really quickly and I've loved it, and I'll just keep knitting on it. I kind of wish I was a little bit further, but this isn't the only thing I've been working on this week, so what are you gonna do if you're not monogamous? But it's super squishy. I love it. I won't be stocking this in the shop only because it's just kind of a specialty yarn, and I will have it available in sweater quantities, so kind of a special order sweater quantity, and I can definitely see myself in a sweater like this in the future. So that has been really, really great. But the other things I have been working on, I worked on my advent calendar knitting for a little bit this week. Sorry, I'm digging in my bag. I have all of these like random sock pieces to show you, basically. I worked a fair amount on my circular sock machine this week, so I'm going to show you that too. But here is what I've been using for my advent calendar knitting. This is my pineapple yarn advent calendar for 2019, and I have been knitting the banana leaf shawl in it, and I'm pretty sure we discussed that last week. I hope we did. Now I can't remember. It's been one of those months. If for some reason you haven't opened your advent calendar this month or this year, go ahead and skip forward. I am dreadfully behind on it, and so I doubt there will be any spoilers unless you just really haven't opened it. But here's where I am on it so far. And I'm just following from day one all the way through. And so yeah, it is so pretty right now. I love all these colors. And what day am I on? I am on day 10. Ooh, day 10, I'm really far behind. But I can't tell you how much I've absolutely loved this pattern and this yarn together. It's exactly the way I wanted. The fade is working out really pretty. I love this. It's so great. So maybe I'll finish it after Christmas. That's probably what's going to happen. Now I'm using this super cute little progress keeper. So cute. And now that I'm thinking of it, I think I forgot to tell you who the maker was. I'm so sorry about that last week. Here is her card. So cute. So I think that it says she has polymer clay sweets and treats. So fun. I need to go check out her shop. This was a gift. These little progress keepers were a gift from my, I think it was called the Secret Santa Sock Swap this year. And so she sent those. Adorable. She sent a super cute package. And so, yeah, I have really been loving that. And honest to goodness, that is all I want to knit on. I only want to knit on my advent calendar, banana leaf shawl, because it has been so much fun. But gift knits await. So those have to be finished. The other thing that I have worked on this week, I kind of just needed, like a little break from like the must knitting, you know, the knitting that I had to do. And so one night, one evening, I just kind of had one of those days where I felt like nothing was going right. I'm sure you've had those days. And I thought, you know what? I kind of just want to get on my sock machine and make some things happen. And up until then, as I've shown you, I have been knitting tubes like this, and which I will show you in a little bit. But which is great, because that's why I actually purchased the sock machine, was to knit samples for the shop. But there's so much more you can do with it, and I definitely want to get to the point where I can knit an entire sock on the machine, which might take me a while, but that's okay. So this is what I started on. I started doing a heel, and if you have done short row heels, like a German short row heel, something like that, you would know how to do this, because it's exactly the same thing. And I literally made a tube of heels. And as you can tell, maybe tell, by the last one that I made, I'm telling you, these are all heels over and over and over. But by the last heel that I did, I think I did a really, really great job. There are no holes, the tension's right. I mean, I'm not complaining about that. And if you're a sock knitter too, as you know, heels and toes are exactly the same. So yay for that. I can do heels finally, but I had to do, I started on this one. Let me count how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I did 14 heels until I was like, all right, I think I got this. That's a lot. And then I started doing a hung hem, which is just a folded over hem. You can see there. Basically, it's just knitting and then folding over your fabric and knitting that row with the next row. So I worked on doing some hung hems. I also just kind of worked on doing the process of an entire sock. So that was kind of interesting, and I successfully did an entire sock, as you can see there. The only problem I had with it is that I didn't check my gauge I just kind of guessed. So this sock does not fit at all. But that's okay, because I'll get the fit down, but I'm happy to say that I actually, as you can see with this kind of jumbled up mess, this actually is an entire sock. The tension is way too loose on this, and that's kind of my next step, is to work on the tension. But I'll show you, because this was my final sock here. I didn't do a hung hem on it because I felt like I had that and I had it down. So I just kind of wanted to make a sock start to finish. But here is a heel. here is a toe, and then I have the yellow is waste yarn. And so what you do is you take that yellow off and you basically Kitchener the toe like that, and then you have a sock. So my plans for this week on my sock machine are to play with the tension, and the tension's funny on a sock machine because it's not really tension. You actually basically want zero tension, no tension at all. What is called tension on a sock machine is like stitch length. And so I'm going to play with that a little bit this week and just see, basically make a gauge swatch and take some really good notes so I can make a sock. Socks that fit, they'd be great. I still haven't got to the ribber. That's probably not going to happen for a while, but that's okay. If I could make an entire sock without a cuff and then just knit a cuff on it, knit a ribbed cuff, I'd be totally happy. So there's definitely a lot to learn on it and remember, but making progress. So on that note, I want to show you some of the sock samples that I knit up for my clubs. And if you haven't received the clubs for December or you haven't opened them up, please skip ahead so you don't ruin any surprises. But I wanted to go ahead and show you them. The first one actually I want to show you is a yarn I have in the shop right now. And I don't think I even have this in the photos because I kind of forgot I had this actually. This yarn right here is Christmas in the Sand, and it is in stock right now in the shop. It is so beautiful. Oh my goodness, I love this. So as you can tell, it's just a super pretty mix of greeny teals and gold and pink with speckles. That is a really fun colorway. So that was not one of my clubs. This is actually in the shop in case you're interested. I do want to say thank you to all of you who have subscribed to my clubs every month. I truly appreciate it. And I absolutely love dyeing them for you and coming up with the mood boards. And in case of my, in the case of my glow club, my yarn and candle club, I love coming up with new candle scents. And it's just so fun. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to do that every month. I really appreciate it. But I'm going to go ahead and show you my Low Country club right now. This is a club dedicated to the culture and feels of the South. The theme this month was called Decorate the Palm, and it was just kind of a collection of photos, kind of gold and purples. But I think this just really came out beautiful. So it's not a holiday colorway by any means, but I think that it is so pretty, and I think it really matched the mood board really well. So this was so fun to dye up. And if you ordered it, I hope you enjoyed it. The second colorway I'm going to show you is from my Sun Club, which is my neon, bold, and bright club. And here it is. And this is it's not even showing on the screen, but this is very vibrant in real life. It is a mix of fuchsia and hot pink, and the speckles, I hope you can see that, they are actually a micro speckle of a neon yellow. And so there's a lot of different colors that I put into this one. I think it just turned out so pretty. I absolutely love it. It's so vibrant and pretty. So I hope you liked that one. And then the next sample I'm going to show you is from my Glow Club, which is my yarn and candle club, and it was called Cozy Memories. And here it is. I think it is, I really, really liked how this one came out. It has some minty greens, vibrant blues, little specks of purple, and then we have red, of course. So yeah, I thought this was really so fun. And I do want to point out, I have been working towards this, and I'm really excited because so I guess just with the dyeing technique, I really wanted to make colorways this month that didn't pool. Now for me, I know when a colorway is going to pool, but honestly, sometimes I just want it to look really pretty in the skein. It's just a specific look I'm going for, and if you're mixing two skeins together, it's not going to pool. But in this case, these are just so fun for socks because they don't pool at all, and yeah, I was really proud about that the technique I'm using is it's creating this effect. So I was pretty excited about that. So those are the clubs for December, and I actually do still have two clubs, my Glow Club, and I have it on my Lonnie sock base, and then I have it on my DK weight base as well. I have one of each of those in the shop with a candle. So if you're interested in this one, I do have it in the shop right now. Just one of each left. And I'm trying to think what else. That's really all I've been working on. I've been out here in the studio working this week, just trying to, you know what I've been doing is organizing. I've been organizing. I had a stash of yarn that was kind of like either one of a kinds, or maybe the colorway was a little off. And what I did is I took my big skein winder, or I guess it's a big Hank winder. It winds yarn, and it's motorized, and I wound up a ton of minis from this yarn. And I am going to put them in basically an 8 mini skein set called Medley of Minis, and they're all going to be one of a kind. I'll put those in the shop next Friday during the shop update, and put them at really good prices. So they're going to be so fun for your scrappy projects, or if you want stripes in a project. I'll show you an example of one that I have packaged up here. This is one I just grabbed 8 minis of and put them in a package before I filmed the podcast. But this is very representative of what will be available. Obviously, the colors will all be different, so there won't be another one like this. But they will mostly be tonal. They will mostly be on a merino nylon sock base. All of the yarn will be a fingering weight. But as you can see, hopefully you can get a close-up, like this one is a tweed fingering weight base. This one has a little bit of sparkle in it. I think this one is a merino silk blend. So they're all going to be, you know, just slightly different, but I think this set is almost 200 grams. And yeah, you really can't go wrong getting a set like this, because they are going to be they're going to be priced very, very reasonably, where you could pick up a couple of these and it would totally be worth it. So these will be in the shop next Friday during the update, and I should mention that the update will be Friday, December 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time at pineappleyarn.com. So I will be having the Medley of Minis, which are my one-of-a-kind sets. I plan on doing that probably every year, just to clean out the stash of yarn I accumulate. But so I'll have the Medley of Minis. I will be having more candles, and I do want to thank all of you for shopping the update last week. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And the reception to my candles has been very positive and enthusiastic. So I will be putting more of those in the shop next Friday. And let's see, I'll have minis, I'll have the candles. I do plan on dyeing some yarn this week. Obviously, next week is kind of, because Christmas falls right in the middle of the week, it'll be kind of a not a usual week, but I will have some more yarn in the shop. I'm not sure what yet, so sign up for my newsletter on my website if you haven't already, because I will be giving you details there. Well, I feel like I have been ridiculously wordy, and yeah, I think I've just been too chatty. So I think I'm going to end here now, but thank you so much for joining me today. And if you liked the podcast, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It helps, it really helps the YouTube algorithm recognize that people enjoy the podcast, and it helps push it out to other makers and viewers like us. So until next time, I hope you have an awesome day. I hope you have a wonderful holiday, and I will see you in 2020. Bye.